If the number 23 has been a recurring synchronicity for you recently, this message is for you. May also be for you if you were born on the 23rd or if you are 23 years old, especially if one of those is the case and some of the following are the case. What's good? My name is Marisol Vibración. It's my first time doing a full-length reading for YouTube, so Instagram, you're getting a little sneak peek, and follow me on YouTube to see the rest of the video. I do not read for people under the age of 18. I curse a lot, and a little bit about my spiritual foundations. The foundations of my spiritual life are Sanatana Dharma, specifically Shaivism and Shaktism, um, Jesuit Roman Catholicism, Chinese and Japanese Buddhism, and Puerto Rican Espiritismo. I pulled some cards before starting recording, so these were to figure out some more details as to who this is for. So we got Scorpio. Scorpio Sun and Moon specifically. And then we got Dignified. So if you have Mars in Scorpio, or if you have 2 or more planets domicile, this is for you. We also got the North Node with the 5th and 9th house. So if your North Node falls into the 5th or the 9th house, this is also for you. With that said, now we know who it's for. Let's figure out what's going on. What's the goddamn tea? Okay, spirit. I do channel with a spirit guide when I'm doing tarot in some of my oracle decks. So you might notice the timbre of my voice shift a little bit depending on who's taking the lead at any given moment. But first I want to start off with what's going on with, we have the gem. The gem and the mentor. The gem and the mentor. And that's interesting. Oh, and the reason why 23 was a number, so when I was getting my setup ready, it was 23 on the clock on my phone while it had 23%. Here we have the mentor and the gem. So, and it's funny because I felt the energy of like perfectionism coming through earlier as I was like getting all my things ready. So you may, if you've been feeling like you have to cross your T's and dot your I's with a little bit more care recently, it's for a reason. You're picking up on the fact that this mentor energy is coming through. And and for some of you, maybe that you're being invited to step into the space of a mentor and to really like reflect to your mentees the gems that they are, help polish them, so to speak, make them shine a little brighter. And for some of you, it may be because you're shining so brightly that you're attracting a mentor who can help you reach the next level of whatever it is that you do. Use your discernment, take what resonates. Not all the messages are going to resonate for every single one of you throughout the reading. That doesn't mean that they're, just because they're not hitting super strongly right now, doesn't mean that the ones further down won't hit strongly. And with that, I will leave Instagram and bid y'all adieu. And back to y'all, YouTube. Let's see. I want to pull one more oracle to get a little... Oh, here we are. The Shapeshifter. The Shapeshifter. Ooh, we're switching it up a little bit. Huh. That's part of what this gem quality that has attracted this mentor in the first place is shining off of you. The fact that you are really adaptable. The fact that you are not just one thing. You may be, you may have your foot in different arenas at the same time. You may wear different hats at the same time, and you wear them all really well. And that's part of why either you're being selected to be this mentor and move in this mentor position for people, or why you've attracted the interest of this mentor. So we'll put the oracle cards to the side for now. And this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes. And now we'll pull some tarot to figure out a little bit more about the situation. I do also channel using fans, so you may see me fan myself as I tune in a little bit more into what I'm picking up on. Ooh, 5 of Wands reversed with the Sun reversed. So we're coming out of a space of feeling like we had to, like we were really fighting just to get the little bit of visibility that we had. It's not that we've doubted our work or the quality of our work, but more so the platforms that we're on and how they favor us or don't favor us, and just feeling like we're putting in a lot of hours and a lot of effort and a lot of really creative and like a good results, but not necessarily seeing those results translate into our material resources, our claim, our bookings. Justice came out with them. Libra energy here. Um, so this phase is coming to an end. This phase of feeling like we have to fight for the spotlight. And now we're just getting it shown on us by the right people. We may also notice that some of the spotlight that gets placed on us in the near future just doesn't hit the way that we want it to, and that's a telltale sign that that's not the kind of spotlight that we need on us. The person behind it is not who we need behind it, or the place that we're having it shown where we are in that moment is not the moment that we need like to capitalize on. But things are going to start working out a little bit more easily. 3 of Wands and the Star, loose. The Star, Aquarius energy, that's double air signs out on the board so far. The Aquarius, Star, and the 3 of Wands. The 3, stay with your craft. The 3 of Wands is that idea of like what you've been working on that you haven't even got to its halfway point yet is a really solid plan or idea. There's like you're striking gold with it. So don't abandon the project. And the Star, you're moving in alignment. I'm getting really the rebellious energy of Aquarius coming through this Star card, and the energy of like of speaking up and speaking out. You may do things your own way. You may do things a little differently from your peers in your industry, whatever industry it is that you're operating within. And that is, don't shy away from that. Don't conform. Your nonconformity is precisely what's attracting the good spotlight to you. For some of you, you may have had mentors in the past that made you feel like too much, or made you feel like you had to play by the rules, or that you were coloring outside of the lines too much. And Justice is moving in to correct that, give you like reparative experiences to replace or to override those unpleasant experiences. And the 2 of Pentacles fell over here. We're gonna go from like maybe feeling like we have too much time on our hands to feeling like we're juggling a little bit. So having a solid game plan as to like what does your day-to-day look like when things pick up for you? What does that look like? What are you do? How are you spending your time? How are you making it something sustainable? I'm going to pull from this other tarot deck. That was from the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas. Almost all the tarot decks I use are Rider-Waite-Smith based, unless I specify otherwise. Now I'm drawing from the Tarot of Dragons. Queen of Wands. 10 of Cups. Yes, 10 of Cups. Queen of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Talk about showbiz. Big showbiz energy off this Queen of Wands. This is definitely for creatives, for artists, for performers, but also maybe other readers or other folks that are content creators on YouTube, on Instagram, what have you. We have the Chariot reversed and the 6 of Pentacles. Cancer season has not felt good for this group. Cancer season has not felt that great. It hasn't felt like there's been a lot of forward movement during this season. And then if anything, it's felt like things have trickled down to a standstill, yet we're still being asked to give from our limited resources, maybe membership fees, maybe people trying to cash in on favors from us, even though they know that we're not necessarily doing the best. And Spirit saying, I'm not necessarily getting advice as to how to navigate, when to give more, when to move into a place of receiving more, or saying I don't have spoons to give from. But I'm more so getting confirmation that as long as you're moving authentically and sincerely through these decisions, you're moving towards that 10 of Cups. You're moving towards that fulfillment, that community energy that feels good to be around. For some of you, this may look like a massive upgrade in terms of like finally reaching the audience you've been trying to reach with your work, with your art, with your presence. Presence is a big word for this collective. You carry quite the presence. Your energy is felt before you're seen when you enter a space. The Devil, Judgment reversed, Justice reversed. Second time Justice has shown up, this time reversed. Six of Cups, Ten of Swords, both sideways. So these are the interfering forces. Six of Cups, Ten of Swords, both sideways. The energy of nostalgia, of feeling attached to our previous self, or maybe the community that we came from. Maybe not being as supportive as we would have liked them to have been during this phase of our life. Ten of Swords, and also holding on to past, not necessarily holding on to past betrayals, but bracing the self for future betrayals because of past ones. Waiting for the other shoe to drop, or waiting for yet another period, period to go by where you don't feel supportive, or you don't feel celebrated by your surrounding community, by your peers. The Devil, and this has created this sort of attachment to the idea that things aren't going to work out for us. And Spirit is saying the more we remain attached to that idea, the more likely we're missing out on opportunities, because it's like we're at that frequency to attract it. But when we start doubting it to that extent and assuming planning for the worst, all the best case scenarios start being like, oh, well, home girl, homeboy, home, they, them didn't, we're not picking up on them anymore when we cast our signal. They must have found something else to grab, or they must not be operating at this frequency anymore. So don't block your own blessings by assuming things will remain as they always have been. I'm going to ask for advice on how to address this devil energy the best. And now I'm going to turn to our Sacred Symbols Oracle deck here. What can mi gente lean on as a tool, as an aid, as a support, as a helper during this devil energy? Ooh, transmute, number 44. Transmute. Every time we're spoken of poorly, move with if that's been something that's been like a part of the worst case scenario thinking, that will be made fun of, that will be mocked, that will be looked at as nothing that impressive. Anytime we're being discussed, period, that is spotlight energy that we can grab and transmute for ourselves. Any publicity is good publicity. Ooh, confirmation burp. Any publicity is good publicity when you're an alchemist, baby. So transmute some of those things that feel like they're chains. Also, what I love about this devil card in this deck, whoever chained up this dragon really fucked up, because there are no chains around its back paws, around its hind legs. So if homeboy wanted to make a run for it, he already has a heads up. So these chains are not as strong as we may give them credit. Anything else that we'd like to offer as a support, as an aid, as a tool, as a reminder during this? Ooh. Good fortune! And we still have good fortune. The number 13. And we still have good fortune. Despite feeling chained down. And again, that's the energy. That's that transmutation again. People wanting misfortune, people waiting for us to trip. That's just fortune energy at the end of the day that's being directed to us, and we can transmute that to good fortune so that we're blessed and favored on the channels, on the algorithm, on the platforms, as in the new rooms that we're starting to gain access to. I want to ask, what does mi gente run the risk of glossing over in the hustle and bustle and the buzz? The Moon and the Four of Swords. We run the risk of glossing over our physical needs, our need for rest, our need to recuperate, our need to rejuvenate, our need to even like creatively take a break. We can't just be producing and creating all the time. Sustainability again, and like the Moon about things being obscured, things being unclear or hidden. Be careful with stimulants at this time. Things that keep us from resting. Be careful of our sleep hygiene at night as well. We might gloss over the importance of that. The Devil reversed. Whoa. As I'm clarifying this part of the reading, double Capricorn energy. Ooh, Mars and Capricorn is a dignified placement. Going back to that, it's Mars rules Scorpio, but dignified and Scorpio both showed up. So Mars and Capricorn may be a placement for you as well. And this is a reminder to not gloss over the fact that we've broken chains before. This is not our first time breaking through some chains. Mi gente, this is not our first time being alchemists either. So reminding ourselves, the number 15 is out here now twice, so that also may be a significant number. Don't count yourself out before the battle's even begun. Remind yourself of all the battles you've already made. Like, you only get to be at this battlefield because of all the other ones you've conquered before. So we're not as weak as we may think in certain moments. What does mi gente have to look forward to amidst all this spotlight energy, potential mentor energy, growth energy, acclaim energy? The universe reversed. So this is not a chapter that's ending anytime soon. This is the beginning of a brand new way of being that's going to last a while. Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles reversed. Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles reversed. We get to look forward to moving from a place of wisdom with our finances to build ourselves up from the bottom up. This is giving rags to riches storylines. This is giving making a whole lot out of a very little. I'm getting flashes of the I'm getting flashes of the drag race challenges where they have the girls do like the drag on a dime kind of vibe, and then they see who can make the most like glamorous outfit using thrift store findings. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting of like appearing as a Queen of Pentacles no matter what you're wearing, no matter what you're adorned with, no matter what brand names are available to you or within your price range, no matter what, any of that still coming across as someone luxurious, someone sophisticated, someone refined, someone to pay attention to. What else do we have to get excited for? The Empress and Judgment upright. Second time Judgment shown up, so that's number 20 twice here. The Empress, number 3 upright. So create lots of more creativity, lots of more abundance of resources. With the 10 of Pentacles reversed, it might be such that like you had a windfall of if you got a big windfall of finances soon, be very conservative with it because I have the anticipation of things like membership fees, things like buying better equipment, investing in what we do, upgrading our foundation we use or the makeup tools we use, depending on what industry we're working within. Just making sure that we don't celebrate in an expensive way too soon because we may need to just reinvest a lot of that first round of earnings to be able to keep making even better and better earnings. And with Judgment, like things being revealed to us, the road that we're paving kind of being made known to us as we start walking down it. I saw red carpet in my third eye as I said that. And I'm getting Ching Shi Huang from Record of Ragnarok. For it matters not which way I walk, for whichever way I walk, that way will become the right path. Which is my mantra for the year, for 2026. If you see some of my older posts from January, I've been on that vibe since I saw those episodes with him. What is this newfound acclaim and attention, perhaps fame even, what is it maybe triggering in mi gente? Sixth house, sustainability, our day-to-day routines, maybe feeling like we don't have a solid one. And we're gonna pull cards to speak to that part of ourselves. We have the Sun, Chiron, and Libra. So you may have the Sun in Libra, you may have Chiron in Libra. Number 7, 18, and 28 out here. You may have the sun in Leo, going back to that dignified energy as well. Asclepius, you may relate to as a healer. You may work in the healing arts yourself. What's something we can say to speak to the 6th house part of ourselves, though, that may feel inadequate with what our day-to-day looks like? 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. We don't have to have it all figured out right away. It's okay if our routine changes month to month, as long as there is the attempt at having one. Don't overthink and overwhelm yourself by trying to do everything to have all those T's, and make the effort to, like, it speaks to you wanting to present a good representation of yourself, but don't feel the pressure to cross every single T and dot every single I either. Anything else we can say to this 6th house part that might get triggered within us? The sun in Libra as well. That's a fallen placement for the sun. So there could be awkwardness with attention in the first place. 4 of Swords, second time 4 of Swords is showing up as well. Rest. It should be the foundation of our routine. If we're going to stress over any part, stress over making sure that our rest regimen is solid. And I've read that waking up at the same time is more important than going to sleep at the same time, for whoever that's resonating for. I want to take a moment. Is there anything else coming through? Yes. Unrelated to this? Got it. Okay. Shifting gears a little bit. Let's see towards what? What are we shifting gears towards? Ooh. The bridge, the sword, and the crone. The bridge, the crone, and the sword. Our words cut through generations. Your words cut through generations. Even elders hear the wisdom in what you have to say and stop to listen or elicit your thoughts on things because they see the value of what you have to say. Now, double-edged sword there. Do not be wary of surpassing the master or inadvertently embarrassing an elder, especially if put on the spot about your opinions about something. And especially if you know that you have a different perspective than the other elders in the room. Sometimes the very thing that people admire about us becomes the thing that they revile about us because it didn't show out the way that they expected. So what is the advice when it comes to wielding out the tongue that is our sword? Knight of Wands reversed. Don't be reckless. Knight of Wands reversed. Don't be so quick to speak. Listen first. Absorb what's being said first. Speak sparingly if put on the spot and you need to say something at first. Ace of Swords reversed. It's okay to not know. It's okay to say I don't know. That's a sign of intelligence. It's a great mark of intelligence. Don't act like you know things you don't. And don't shy away from saying you don't know when something is still being formulated in your head. You don't have to let people know where you're at in your thought process either. If you don't know yet, you just don't know yet. They don't need to know why. They don't need to know that you're on the verge of knowing, Six of Swords reversed. And it's okay to have changed your mind. It's okay to have a different position from the last time you were. Maybe you get put on the spot consistently by certain people. It's okay to have a different take on things the next time around. and you're the kind of conversationalist that would probably provide, you know, there you would provide a little bit of context as to why you do a different position. It's not hypocritical to change your mind. You call hypocrites out, so then hypocrites try to find you and get you in a gotcha moment. I'm getting for some of you. Five of Swords and the Lovers. Five of Swords and the Lovers. People naysaying the things that you like to do. I'm getting people like poking fun at like what you do for your pastimes, even. Um, yes, but this is especially people who you may have called out at some point, or you may have made to feel stupid in front of their peers. Or like you may have they felt embarrassed by you for some reason. It's giving the energy of shit talking. Is the giving this the give? I'm getting the energy of slut shaming as well. And like whether you are slutting around or not, it's like the people talking about it don't even have the data to be able to say that with certainty. They're just talking out their ass. Sire of Wands, which is the king, and the Knight of Pentacles. Sire of Wands reversed, Knight of Pentacles upright. Second, court card reversed from the Wands suit, so do not bring heat. Speaking from a very level-headed place. Moving from a place of like, you know, where am I investing my time? If I keep getting asked my opinion by people, and I've noticed that people are kind of like putting me on the spot so that they can tear apart my position, I don't even spend that much more time in the space at all, let alone fielding questions from such people. So I have work to go do, is what I'm going to say next, and I'm going to get myself out of here. Toodles. I was thinking advice is about the bridge energy. 10 of Wands, second time 10 of Wands has come out. Number 20 again. 10 of Wands, you may be born on the 20th. Being a bridge can be overwhelming. If you're a spiritual bridge, especially if you're a spiritual bridge and like a social bridge. So notice the lanes, the types of bridges you're being right now, and whether you've got a full handle on like all the control system, the UI, so to speak, for those bridges. Is it an on-off switch? Is it a dial? Can you keep the scope a certain amount, or is it all or nothing? Ooh, confirmation hiccup and burp. Hierophant reversed. You don't need to consult outside of yourself when it comes to speaking on things that you know you're certain about. You may feel a need to put on a certain level of like humility, especially if it's people who've been doing certain things that you do longer than you. But you don't need to be taught much. Maybe you need to be taught how to refine, how to wield the knowledge you have, but you know the things. Five of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. Some people are content to leave you out in the cold. Some people are content to let you go off and do what they think is ridiculous so that then they can point and have something to make fun of, or someone to make fun of, someone to feel superior to. I'm getting like, even when you get put out in the cold, you thrive. Even when you get put out in the cold, you befriend the cold all of a sudden. Now you know how to do ice magic all of a sudden. Now you're fucking summoning snowman with your bare hands with a flick of the wrist. And your haters are like, the fuck she learned how to do that? How the fuck they learn how to do that? Y'all are cheeky. I like it. You see any advices from the sacred symbols when it comes to navigating this bridge energy? And the crone energy. Earth. Earth and jealousy. The number 23. Wear evil eye protection jewelry if you have it. Red or blue. Yellow won't cut it for this. Red or blue. Oof. And then earth, grounding the self. Protective crystals. I'm getting unakite. Black tourmaline, obsidian, jet, red jasper, and tiger's eye as good crystals to lean on right now. If you're herbalists, herbs that are good at like identifying where the jealousy or envy is coming from, or at redirecting it or transmuting it in some way, lean into those herbs. I can't think of any off the top of my head at the moment, nor am I getting any through the channels. I'm getting for some of you even grabbing physical dirt and using physical dirt to cleanse yourself, like wiping it across your third eye, across the back of your neck, throwing it down on the ground, using earth to just like grab any energy you don't want on you and just throwing it off you. What is there to be excited about by being this bridge with this sword? Nine of Wands reversed. Things moving like being able to accomplish things with less effort. I'm getting a lot of ease and effortlessness off this card for you. Effortlessness? And for what? Page of Wands reversed and Two of Pentacles reversed. Effortlessness with learning how to juggle and learning how to step into this like more bustling or busy time. And effortlessness in like being willing to make mistakes as you learn on the job. And trusting that those mistakes won't be viewed as like, oh my God, what an idiot, they shouldn't be here, but rather as like, well, look at how they handled that challenge when they tripped. Impressive. Hierophant reversed again. You get to be viewed, like another thing to get excited about is to like you'll be viewed as someone who doesn't need a mentor. So that might be after working with this mentor. If there's a mentor coming in, it might be very short term. It might just be more so like someone who's trying to just like prop you up in the right place. And then in other cases, it's like, this is why you're being viewed as like someone who should start mentoring people, because it's like, oh, you do not need elders or masters around you right now. You got a really solid grasp on what it is that you're bringing to the table, well beyond your years. Any closing messages? Of what nature? Of what nature are these closing messages? Leo. Leo energy. Okay, loyalty and spotlight. How do we retain a good relationship with loyalty and the spotlight? And with our egos? Two of Swords reversed by stop playing small. None of this like feigned meekness, feigned humility. Fuck that. Y'all are stars. Y'all are brilliant. Own it. Speak out on it. Use that sword. High Priestess. High Priestess. And y'all are tapped the fuck in. Y'all are channeling that intuition. The Chariot upright. Fuck yes. And you're moving forward with it. Trust that you're moving forward in life, mi gente. Trust that you're moving on and up to bigger and better places right now. Massive upgrade. Psychic upgrade, career upgrade, community upgrade, living situation upgrade. Just 10s across the goddamn board. I live. 23s across the board. Protect yourself. Okay. Any other closing messages before I wrap it up for the night? Focus. Focus. Stay focused. You're going to be sent curveballs. You're going to be sent distractions. You're going to be sent the allure of like, let's celebrate, let's celebrate, let's celebrate. The people who keep saying that over and over again, are they offering to treat you to something? Or are they expecting you to spend your hard-earned money on them before you've even gotten fucking settled into the fact that you got this accomplishment? Focus on that too. But more importantly, focus on what it is that you do on your craft, on your daily routines, on your sleep, on your protections, and on your self-assuredness and your self-validation. That's what I got for you tonight, mi gente. Again, my name is Marisol Vibración. So excited to have my first like full-length reading for YouTube recorded, and can't wait to edit it and post it. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Stay tuned for more and more and more, because I've got a lot of exciting things coming through the channels for everybody. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Mwah.